Welcome back to another episode of the Reseller's Mindset Podcast. My name is Mike, also known as the Used Book Guy on YouTube, along with my friend and fellow full-time reseller, Johnny B. We help people start and grow their reselling businesses from the ground up. We also have a weekly Zoom call and private Discord for all YouTube members. Head on over to youtube.com/usedbookguy to join the channel and gain access to the full-length podcast, Zoom call, and private Discord today. Let's get into this week's episode.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Resellers Mindset Podcast. Full disclosure, this was pulled from a list that was 2 years old because me and Johnny have talked about everything related to reselling. And the topic today from Johnny's list that he created 2 years ago when he was like 18 years old is eBay and Amazon setting us up to fail? And I think we're going to look at this from both a newer seller perspective and a larger, more seasoned seller's perspective. And I guess you could take us away with the newer seller on eBay. Is eBay setting us up to fail?
They don't make it easy to understand everything that's going on, especially they have three different ways to promote your eBay listings these days. And then there's the fourth question of should you even be promoting at all? No one outright really says it. You don't even know it if you're just going into it blind. Should I promote at all? I don't know. And if I do decide, which one of these three paths do I go? Because they're all three really different. Not only that, eBay kind of gives the perception of you can list the lint in your pocket and sell it, and that's not true. I don't care how good your listing is, you're not selling the lint in your pocket. And then you have the aspect of the quote unquote eBay has got your back, nothing can go wrong, you're going to have no worries. If you don't dot your I's and cross your T's, you better have some worries, as that's an immediate INET, item as described, for those not in the know. There's various other things like that. So on the Amazon end, I think that's even harder. There's zero customer support. So, and those Word documents may or may not be up to date.
You're looking at Amazon's customer support.
Right here. It's the Mike comment on the YouTube videos channel, and hope for the best. And then the explanation of how to do your box. And if you're doing it on the Amazon workflow only, and you probably are as a new person, best of luck to you. That's a hard, arduous process. Even when I had Mike's video up when I did my first box eons ago,
Yeah.
It still took me an hour to do it.
It's I think this is like it's good because I consider myself I don't sell anything on eBay. The only stuff I sell, Johnny sells for me. So like I can relate to being a crappy eBay seller, and I'm like a beginner eBay seller, right? And one thing I really never took into consideration, because you said it there, is like your promoted percentage comes right off your bottom line. So when you're out looking at an item to sell and you're sorting it through the sold comps, at least I was smart enough to do that. Like I'm not factoring in the extra 5, 10% or whatever it may. I do think my personal opinion, even though I suck at eBay, right? I just said, hey, don't listen to me, anything related. I do think you need to promote your items, just based on wanting to sell everything yesterday. And I do think you're right. Like they make it seem like you can just sell anything, and there's no requirement for the photos, right? Like you can list stuff without photos. I didn't even know this was a thing. You can just no image available. I've literally seen listings that say that. So they say you can list today. You can list today, right? But I mean, it could even be a good item, right? There's people that literally search for like misspellings of items, right? Instead of like I love Michael Myers stuff, right? Like, and people will spell Michael wrong and they'll spell Myers wrong. And you can search those. People actually have bots that'll search mistypes, misspellings, and find those items because the person don't know what the hell they got, or they didn't put it in right. And it's I don't think they do it on purpose, but I do think both platforms kind of set you up to fail because they promise you that you can get money for your items right away, but like they don't give you the tools. And like I wish there was something like where they would just tutorial walk you through, like when you go to create your first listing on eBay, it says, okay, let's create your first listing. We want to have at least 6 photos because 6 photos will give the customer like, and like the title and the item description. The same with Amazon. I wish like the first box you go to create they kind of hold your hands, like choose the items you want to send, then take you to the next step. Here's what we're going to do in this step. And neither platform, they don't do it. They're just like sign up and then good luck.
That's pretty much how it is, man. And the ease of sign up is there, sure, but what you do after that, it's not clear cut. And you can watch, I don't know, 10 different videos and get 10 different answers on what you should be selling on these platforms. Is it shoes? Is it hats? Is it books? Is it clocks? Is it weird little miniature thingies? The information's all over the place. No one tells you you probably should investigate what kind of widget you want to sell and investigate the margins and availability in your area of these things. And is it new? Is it used? What do I need if it's new? Do I need an invoice? Maybe. Not so much on eBay, but definitely on Amazon. But and they don't tell you about brands coming after you if you sell the wrong thing. If
Dude,
you
that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I was gonna hit. They'll let you list it, and then they will punish you. But I'm like, wait a minute,
why did you let me list it in the first place if you're going to come bring the hammer down on me?
if we know all like Beachbody and P90X and Rosetta Stone is like you're automatically like in the shitter, like why does eBay even let you create the damn listing to begin with? Like once you type in the barcode or you put that in like the title, it should automatically like prompt you. It's the same with Amazon, right? There's, the textbook companies. It should be like, well, this is a Cengage textbook. Are you sure you want to list this? And you're kind of just, hey, they let me list it, Johnny. And then all of a sudden you wake up and they're like, well, you're a new seller. You're selling this stuff you can't sell. See you later. Bye. But you're like, you told me I had P90X at home. You told me I could sell it. Oh, we don't care.
And on eBay, you got to play these weird games like Velcro shoes. You cannot put Velcro in your title. You can put anything else but Velcro in your title and get away with it. Same for like World War II stuff. You can put or leave out certain words, and you'll either get dinged for it or they'll leave you alone, depending on what those are. There's not a handbook for that. There's not a decoder ring telling you any of this. You got to figure that out. And
What's up, Amazon sellers? We wanted to take a second to talk about GoToLister, the software me and Johnny both use to list and manage our inventory and grow our businesses. With the fastest listing speeds out there and built-in profit analytics, it's a no-brainer. Easily and quickly have items available for sale using 2D barcodes and get more for your items with its built-in smart pricing. Make sure to check out the 30-day free trial at gotolister.com/Mike or using the link in the description below.
again, the documentation's not up to date, and you don't have documentation pointing to the correct documentation that you actually need that's been buried in some sub forum 9 years ago. It's ridiculous.
Dude, I remember I sent you some obscure anime DVDs, right? Because I went and I looked and I seen, dude, this DVD sold for $60. It's not on Amazon, but it seems like you can sell it on eBay. And you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we had it listed for a day, Mike, and they took it down. But like there's sold listings. So to me, as somebody who knows nothing, right? I'm just like, well, if somebody sold it, then we should be able to sell ours, right? Like it's sold. And then you're like, well, they took it down. And some people, kind of the analogy, some people get caught speeding, others don't. But to the average person who's new, they see that it's sold and they're like, whoa, I can sell mine. And then you list it. And then the next day, all of a sudden, you're getting yelled at.
Yeah, I did some investigation after the fact. And the reason theirs were up and mine was down, they took mine down, is because they slid theirs into a different category. I put mine in the correct category, but if you use certain keywords in the correct category, the hammer comes
You
down.
got punished for being
I
a,
got
a,
punished
a
for doing
good
the right
eBay
thing.
seller. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's things like that, though, right? And like you said, these companies make multi-trillion gazillions of dollars, and like their fact sheets are like so out. I mean, just look at eBay and look at Amazon. The overall layout of the website is the same it's been like since we started, and
Yeah.
like the help documents are just as old and outdated. I'm just like, come on, like let's I mean, we have all of these content creators now on these platforms, right? Like reach out to somebody and say, hey, why don't you make we'll pay you $50,000. You make us a start to finish guide on how we should be sourcing, prepping, photo, and packing our shipping products on eBay. Just imagine the lengths that would help new sellers if they had something that was up to date with somebody that knew, not one of these fraudsters, right? Like somebody that's actually had success on the platforms, make a video, explain the basic details and kind of what they expect from the quality of a listing and things. And it's the same with Amazon, right? Prepping and shipping their boxes and not filling your boxes with, random dunnage and not sending boxes that are full of cat hair and dog hair and all beat up, chewed up. It would go, dude, it would go so far, but they never would, right? I mean, even if they listen to this, they're gonna be like, we don't care. We're not spending the $10,000.
Okay, I'm going to talk about customer support for a minute. We're going to start with Amazon. My God.
Doesn't exist.
If you choose to call in, A, you have to play the puzzle game of which prompts do I select in their contact us in the correct order. And there's a workflow. For those that have done this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those that haven't done it, Godspeed. Um, and if you follow the Plinko little wheel down, eventually you can plug in your phone number for them to call you. And when they answer, they're just reading you the help documents that you've already looked at. So they are worthless. They are beyond worthless. Now, flipping the script over to eBay, I press a button and they call me right then and there. And then they greet me on the phone and tell me how long I've been selling on eBay for every time. And they say, thank you for your service. Or we thank you for your service. And I'm thinking in my head, what do you mean we? You haven't been here. You're fresh off the boat. You're a week old. I know more about eBay than you do, customer service agent, sir or ma'am.
Yeah.
And then then I have to explain them how to do their job and like me reading the terms of service and holding them to a legally binding thing on the phone. And then hopefully their superiors eavesdropping on them and telling him just give him what he wants so he leaves.
Yeah.
And it's but we have to play these games. That's what they feel like, gigantic games. It should be I call in, I ask for help legitimately, and I get legitimate help back. But that's not how it works because they've outsourced all these call service things. They don't care about giving us an answer. They're going to get our money either way. The customer, not the seller, they're going to get their money either way. So, what benefit to them is it for them to help us, the seller? There's none.
I this is controversial, and I really don't care. I think there should be tiers to customer service based on the person's selling history and performance on the platform. Now, how they can figure out what thresholds are, I don't care. But I'm just saying, because Johnny, I understand what you're saying, right? It's probably somebody that's been in this job and they're just reading from the script. But we can't afford to answer the phones for somebody to ask, hey, how do I list this item? And unfortunately, Johnny, I know you believe that every reseller is a great reseller and is very knowledgeable about everything they do. It's the same reason Amazon does this. The majority of new sellers will call before they Google it when they can get the answer on Google
Yeah,
that quick. We don't
you're
have enough
right.
phone lines in the universe to answer, hey, I went to create this listing and I didn't let me upload one photo. And all they had to do was go look that maybe the computer didn't upload the photo like it should have. They didn't even try re-uploading the photo. So
No.
I do think that calling in is just like it's like a badge now. It's like a pleasantry of like you can call us and have your questions answered. I think all
It's
companies
there
have
just to
that.
say we have it.
I think that's all these online companies, they just have this like chat support or call and speak to somebody. And in actuality, like 100% of the time, you know more than that person on the other side of the phone.
Yeah.
And it's just there so they can say, hey, we have 100% seller customer support. Man, sure you do, right? It's just soon enough, it'll just be AI, right? It'll just be AI. You call in, you'll talk to AI, and they'll speak back to you and kind of just tell you what the same shit you just went and looked up for
But
an hour.
that's when I'll tell my AI to talk to their AI and page me when you're both done with each other.
Oh, they only accept certain AIs, and yeah, it's tough because these are great opportunities. And is it a great opportunity to start reselling? Yes, but I think Amazon is harder to start because all the hoops you got to
Yeah.
jump through, right? You got to go to your video verification. These things didn't exist. I didn't have to sit down with nobody and be like, look, here's my ID, here's my ugly face, does it match up? And right, they're like, looking back, and in my driver's license, I wish I had it here. Like I was like 60 pounds heavier, so like they might be like, "Hey, that's not you." I'd be like, "Well, like I lost a little bit of weight over the past 4 years." And uh, but eBay, right? You can start today. Now, I'm not sure what exists on eBay because, like I said, I don't do it at all. I remember there was like a limitation of like how many dollars. that you could list, or like how many items you could list in the beginning. I'm
They
not
got rid
sure.
of that, but yeah, that used to be a thing. And you could only list when you first started, you could only list 10 items. And then you had to sell a couple, and then you have to call in or press a button to request to be able to sell more, and you do this continually. I knew somebody who had a limit of 1 million items and 1 billion, no more than $1 billion. She didn't do anywhere near these numbers, but she's just done it proactively for that long. This is before they got rid of it. She just had these outrageous bragging right numbers like, I'm authorized to sell $1 billion worth on eBay if I wanted to. That
Yeah,
was
that's
always the joke. If I wanted to.
yeah, yeah. If I really wanted to, and I just remember little things like that. And on the end, I don't think either platform really describes what you as a seller, what type of customer service you're expected to provide, right?
Yeah.
And I think this kind of, if you get back into building an eBay store like you have, right, running, I still don't know how to do it. I don't even know if eBay has it, but it's not like it pops up in my face like, here's how to run a 2 for 2 sale, right? Like I feel like
No.
that would be good for sellers to know,
Yeah.
right? And I've never done it. I've never seen anything proposed to me when I did sell on eBay that said, "Hey, Mike, why don't you try running a buy one get one free sale? Watch this quick YouTube video and it'll show you how to do it," right? It's like they rely on content creators to do the work for them. And I'm fine with that, but let's just pay somebody that does it right and just put it right on the eBay site, right? Like, here's updated videos on how to run a sale or how to do this. Like, I have no idea. Like, I remember you telling me about like buckets of different time frames and the prices go down. I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, like, how the hell? What back end deep eBay stuff? Like, I can't figure none of this out. And it would be great for a new seller, even if you're new, to understand, all right, down the road in 30 days, I can have this set up so that it goes down 5% and then 10%, whatever that may be. And it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean, does Amazon have like a official YouTube channel?
I think they do, but I think it's just copy pasted like from Seller University stuff. It's the same videos in the Seller University that are old, outdated crap.
Yeah, eBay definitely does. And on there, it's just basically resellers that they picked out of a hat, essentially. And they just talk about how great their business is, but they don't really tell you anything of value or substance.
Is it anybody that's like anybody that I would know?
No, like I said, it's random. They pick random people out. Let's
Probably
see.
probably
It
paid
is
actors.
officials. Maybe. Uh YouTube.
I think, another thing they don't tell you is what, like I was kind of talking about is the customer service you need to provide on both eBay and Amazon. eBay, if somebody has a question, you're expected to answer it, right? And I don't think they're, I don't, is there a metric? Like, do you have to respond to customer messages on eBay?
No, but they like you to. It is a metric that they track. And so the going theory is if you're slow to respond, because it does show this on all of your products, how long it takes for
Oh,
them to get
yeah.
back to you. So the customer or your customers can monitor how frequently you respond back. And if they see something really technically on paper, if they see something really low, they may not want to buy from you because they know if they have any questions, they're probably not going to get help from you.
Yeah. And then on Amazon, it's the complete opposite, right? If you sell through FBA, there's a little button. They changed it now. It's no longer no response needed. It's case resolved, right? So if you sell through Amazon's FBA program, which we do, you don't have to answer a question regarding anything. They can be like, "Hey, is your name Mike? Do you use book guy?" I just said case closed, case closed.
Go away.
I need a gavel now so I can resolve these
It's like
cases.
Judge Judy.
But
Duh,
like
next case.
they don't tell you that, right? They don't tell you that you don't have to. It goes both ways, right? eBay doesn't tell you that you should respond in a timely manner. Amazon doesn't tell you you never have to respond. So it's like you're just stuck in limbo trying to figure it out on your own. And yeah, there's benefits to doing that, right? If you know the all right, I'll out myself, right? If you know the answer to the Amazon question you get, and it takes you 10 to 30 seconds to type in the response, go for it. Don't be the used book guy, right? Be better than the used book guy, right? I'm setting the bar super low. But a lot of the times, I don't know the answer to these questions. They're like, hey, does this have, the last one I got was like, hey, does this have Spanish subtitles? I don't know. I sent that thing in God knows when, and it's not like I'm keeping tabs here. What's got subtitles?
You don't have
Uh,
a manifest of your inventory with all the special features next to them?
so instead of me saying, no, I don't know, case resolved, and they don't get an answer back. But eBay's the opposite way. If somebody asks that, right? I've had this happen when I used to sell on eBay, and I had my closed totes full of shit that I have to dig through when something sells, and somebody's like, "Hey, what are the dimensions of that shirt?" Right? And then I got to go measure, right? And it's like you go and you take the time because you have the physical item, right? But they don't tell you like, "Hey, the customers like I like vaguely remember that when I buy something on eBay that it says they usually respond within X amount of time. So like the fact you brought it up, like they should make that a point for you to answer quickly, right? You get that message, it pops up on your phone like, hey, all your customers will see how long it takes you on average to answer questions you get from a customer. Give the little people a little bit more motivation. And I do like the idea when you list something and you don't put that many words in like the description, it'll tell you like the more words you put in, the better it'll be for the customer. The problem is when you use like the AI listing on eBay,
It's
all it
terrible.
does, it pulls the item descriptives and just puts it in like
What's in
filler
sentence
paragraphs.
form? That's all it does.
It's like it's the same
Would
thing.
you
Like,
like a longer item specific list? Well, here it is in sentence form.
yeah, yeah, that's all it is, man. It's funny when we really start thinking about this crazy shit we deal with.
I mean, and nobody tells you how to handle a return either. Like the customer sends you a message demanding you give them their money back. And your first go-to is to, well, yeah, give them the money back. But you'll kind of find out there are some unsavory lots out there in the world, and you're going to want your item back before you give them a dime. Because if you just give them the money, that customer then is free to pretty much just keep your item and your money. And now you're out both money and item. That's a bad place to be. So yeah, when I get a return, I just wait for it to come in before I even offer that. Should you engage with the customer? There's no handbook for that, but yeah, you should. eBay likes to see you do that if you do have to call them in to kind of help you, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
but see, eBay likes that.
I know all of this. That again, average Joe, new guy or girl, not gonna
Me?
know this.
No idea. Johnny's
None.
my eBay customer support in case anybody, if I ever get back into eBay, instead of calling eBay, I just call Johnny and say, hey, what does eBay want me to do? He knows what eBay wants me to do more than
Yeah.
eBay because this is another thing, dude. I mean, if you do call, maybe one person tells you, hey, we're going to remove this negative feedback, right? And then it doesn't get removed. You call back, the next person says, oh, unfortunately, we can't remove that. So it's not even like you always get a clear cut answer when you speak directly with the damn people that work there.
You used to do agent shopping to get your negative feedback removed because they would be cycling so many agents through. You get the one guy is like, I'm new here. I'm going to give him what he wants.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore. They got harsh policies now, but used to be good times. And then you had it was the feedback fixer guy. You used to pay a guy like $40 and he would get any negative feedback removed. He knew the magic words to say when you call in, kind of like a lawyer, right? Worth every cent. But he can't do what he used to do anymore. Um, that's the other thing. Customer expectations versus seller expectations. I list
Oh yeah.
item, customer buys item or what they think the item is. This is really bad in clothes because they'll buy it, it may not fit, right? And they'll tell you you're a liar. And you're like, no, I'm not. I put the dimensions in there. You're just fat. Or it says size 11, but in this brand, size 11 is really size 10 everywhere else. The customer feels had, you feel had, and everybody's mad at each other. Um, you can offer resolutions on your own, but again, there's no playbook. You're on your own. Like the coupons you're talking about, maybe that'll save the day with the customer if you offer them something like that, or maybe it won't. But again, you're on your own. You got to figure out how to best juggle this. Forget about it on Amazon land. You just kind of swallow it and move on.
Yeah, Amazon returns, you're basically accepting it, but they still don't even give you enough details with that because if you do merchant fulfill an item, that means you're packing, shipping it yourself. You can actually charge a restocking fee, but
Yeah.
there's catches to that. If you charge more than 20%, you have to provide an invoice if Amazon asks for it. So if I sell my item that I got from the thrift store and I sell a new DVD to somebody, package ship it myself, they send it back, it's busted open, the disc is missing. I don't have an invoice. So if I charge more than 20%, Amazon's gonna say, hey, where's your invoice? Well, then that opens up a whole nother can of worms. But like nobody knows that you can charge a restocking fee on Amazon returns and what the threshold limits are. Nobody even knows that you have to set up a shipping template on Amazon, right? There's so many things that just these platforms, they want you to start today. And I don't know why. I guess like on Amazon, if you sign up for a pro account, it's $40 a month, but like that's just a drop in the bucket to them. On eBay, like, are you required to have like a starter store or anything yet? No.
No,
So you can start with zero, right? Zero monthly cost on eBay.
no, I mean you're gonna get charged in your insertion fees. So that's why they got their store subscriptions, because at certain points it makes sense to switch over to their programs versus you paying outright. Kind of like Amazon has that, whatever the non-pro is, the
Yeah, the
standard
individual.
account. You
Yeah.
pay $1 per listing, but it doesn't make sense to do it on your 41st item. But
Yeah.
anything up to that, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's hard to try to figure out why they'll just let you start selling today, but they don't give you the resources to kind of grow into the business that would benefit both you and them 10x from what you were when you started. I don't know. I mean, I just like to think it's laziness, honestly. I mean, we see it in the Amazon space with the softwares. We talk about it all the time, right? Like these softwares are so outdated. The fact pages are outdated. The apps are outdated. Like it wouldn't I understand it takes money to make things better, but usually when you make things better and you offer better support, more people go there. Wow, what a surprise. Who would have thought it, right? Like I feel like
Take it back right now.
we're living in the past, right? We're still listed on these platforms that are so old. The softwares we use are so old. Like let's get up to the 2025 here. I mean, I know these are huge corporations. They got the money to do it, and if we just make some subtle changes to help new sellers, you would see an influx of people and you would have better quality stuff. Especially, all right, I shop on eBay. I know, right? I don't sell on eBay, but I shop on this shirt I got it off eBay, right? So I got a pet peeve with eBay sellers. I buy something today, Johnny. This shit's got to stop because the last like 10 things I bought off eBay, almost every single one of them have done this. They print the shipping label day one and it doesn't move for like 6 days. Like,
Hmm.
so is, are people getting punished for this? Because I get pissed off when I buy something on eBay. Oh, your item has shipped. And I go and look and it just says label has been printed. And then it actually does never get to the post office until like the end of the week or the week after. Like, is that a track metric? Because it drives me nuts.
It is a track metric, but the seller sets up when they need to ship it. So if I say 5 day handling, I got up to 5 days. I can print out your label on day one, but I'm not required to ship it until day four. Me, on the other hand, I have same day shipping. So I do have a cutoff time of what the day ends and starts on. But outside of that, you're going to get it either the day of or the day after you order from at least me. But other sellers have longer handling time for various reasons. The reason you want a longer handling time is maybe you're a clothing store. I'm assuming you're shopping from clothing sellers. Is they want people to do that multi-quantity order because they're going to collect your shipping dollars each time. Then they're going to bundle it all together and save money and keep a lot more of your shipping money. In all actuality, me, I don't really got time or want to play that game. But yeah,
All right, I'm gonna argue. I'm gonna argue with you here because it wasn't that because it said we ordered some like lay maxes. They're like little Halloween, like little you can set up little towns, they light up cool
oh,
little
you're dealing with a
things.
drop shipper then, yeah.
Not even a drop shipper. It says like they have the product. There's an actual photo of the product, and it says it'll ship by Tuesday, right? And I order it. The order goes through, prints the label. It says it's waiting for the carrier to pick it up, or whatever, and then it doesn't get a scan till well after Tuesday. So it's like they just, I guess you get penalized if you don't get a shipping scan because Amazon tracks this, right? And another thing that Amazon don't tell you.
It depends. Like the rural carriers, they'll scan it in their little device, and then that little device is supposed to get uploaded at the post office. So if that carrier that picks up from their house either A, forgets to scan, or B, they're lazy about uploading the scans from that thing, the seller could have shipped it on time, but it's a post office kerfluffle after that. That's why I take mine in, because because when they scan it at the post office, like with a human being, it's instant of when that information's uploaded. There's no delay and there's no human component. That's all taken out.
Yeah, see, and Amazon, they don't play that shit. Amazon holds you responsible for the shipping times. So you buy it, you get this item, and Amazon says, hey, to the customer, it's going to be here by this date. Even if Johnny goes, he drops it off at the post office, a
Mhm.
tornado comes or some cowboys come through and rob the post office. Johnny's held accountable for it not
Yeah.
being on time. They track on time delivery rate, and if you're not up to a certain percentage, they will stop letting you sell across the
As
board.
long as I get a scan on when I say it should be mailed, uh, based off the shipping times and days I've set up, I'm covered as far as eBay is concerned.
I think that's another thing though, right? Think about it. When you I don't, maybe this does exist, right? Maybe when you go in and you set up your shipping policies, which I don't even know how to do on eBay. I don't know how easy it is even find to do this as a new seller on eBay. Maybe they should be like, hey, the average customer expects to get their item within 4 days. So you should have 1 to 2 day handling time, ship it out by the end of the second day. Like those little things I think will make a huge difference in both the seller and customer experience. Because guess what? If you pack and ship your item quicker, the money's coming in quicker, and that's music to my ears.
They used to have a report and they would compare you to your peers on your price brackets, which is a measuring stick. They don't give those reports anymore, unfortunately. But that was a good gauge of seeing, oh, everybody else is shipping 2 days faster than me. If I crank it up here, I'll be ranked higher, and in theory, I should get more money. Another thing they did was um, it's not final value fees, it's the pro program or whatever. Um, you have to ship within at least next day to be eligible. And then the tier above that, I think it's the same metric, but that's how you save money, 10% back on your final value fees. And that's the only place I've ever seen it really hard-boiled mentioned where it's a real benefit to you because that's money in your pocket. But if you're not even going for that program, shrug.
Yeah, I
Why?
think they should like what is it, top rated seller, right? Is that still
Yeah,
a thing on
well,
eBay?
there's top rated seller and there's top rated seller plus, and plus is where you get that 10% savings on final value fees.
Yeah, I never had a chance to make it the plus, but I do think, what happens if you're close to being a top rated seller and they just when you log in on your app, it gives you like, hey, you just need to ship 5 more items this month to get top rated seller, or you need to decrease your shipping time by half a day to get top rated seller. These are little things I think, I mean, don't we want everybody to be the best possible seller on the platform, right? If I had a reselling platform, I would want the best sellers getting the best results.
Yeah.
So I, everything Johnny talks about, like we think of it, all right, it is secret sauce because you don't know because eBay don't put it out there. But shouldn't eBay have a Johnny handbook that says, hey, here's exactly how to be successful? But they refuse. So it's the same with Amazon. They have all these things nobody knows about, and you're kind of just left, like Johnny said, you're just winging it out here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you get sold short or you think that you're doing it the right way when all along you're doing it completely wrong,
I
right?
had to join a specialized group, text group, to master this myself. Because I wasn't good at it, and it's a whirlwind of disaster. And honestly, that's a benefit to people like you and tech and whatever. You have to start a group because you do have the knowledge, and you both realize that knowledge is not put together in any kind of cohesive way on the main platform. So there's value in your guys' group because you have the knowledge, you could speed it along versus me trying to get a legal degree in Ebenese or Amazonese or whatever. It's just, yeah, hard.
Yeah, it is hard. And I think I hate that I'm not one for like restrictions and more red tape when it comes to anything, but I do think as a newer account, I know Amazon now didn't have this back when we existed. They give some newer sellers an account rep, like a specific person, like you could call this person. And but even then, they're probably reading from the script, right? Like they have a generic set of things they'll help you with. But that didn't exist back when I signed up. But then again, I didn't have to verify that I was actually the person on my ID. Maybe that could be a route they could go, but I could see that being a lot more expensive than just having good content, right? Like good content that you're saying, like the YouTube content, the social media platform content of how to get started on these platforms and what I'm fine with the success stories, right? If you're going to bring Johnny on and they're going to
Yeah,
talk about the
those
trillions
are
of dollars,
fine,
then
but it
that's
can't be your
fine.
whole content.
Exactly. We need some boring content that Johnny likes to call it, of like the processes and how to get the best results and what people are doing. Or maybe some even I would like to see some platform analytics. I know they don't want to share like a lot of their information behind the scenes, but like maybe something like, hey, sellers that take 8 photos of their listings seem to get 15% better sell through on their items compared to those that don't upload at least 8 photos on their listings. Like little tidbits like that that kind of push people to do a little bit more on the platform, but it pays off with the results on the back end. They're not telling you just to do it, just to do it. They're saying, hey, and Johnny will tell you this, I take, 12 photos because I want the customer to see everything. And that's why I can get better results than somebody selling that same book that's got 1 photo.
Right. And then you flip it over to Amazon land. Why are we keeping how to get the buy box a secret? Wouldn't you want everybody to have the buy box? Why not? Why are you putting this weird limitation of secret Rubik's Cube hieroglyphic? I do this, it'll unlock. Doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It's as much as I sound like I'm harping on eBay, Amazon is just as bad. I think both of these suckers are just as bad when it comes to getting you set up for success in the
I mean,
beginning.
if you think about now, I'm going to let you finish. Come
No, go
back to
ahead.
me.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, we're going. You got the
I'm
floor.
thinking about the buy box whole absurdity right now, and it's hysterical. So I'm going to pay you $40 a month, right? And then you're not going to tell me how to unlock this buy box where I'm going to get all the sales. I'm going to get slow sales until I have the buy box. And I have to then trust you, Amazon, and send you more and more and more boxes in the hopes, not a guarantee, just in pure hoping that you'll give me this coveted buy box to allow my stuff to sell at normal rate instead of below normal rate. So I'm punished until I get that buy box because you're going to pay me an abnormal rate. Not only that, but I'm going to have to pay for the contents of the inside of the box. There's a fee to send each of those contents in per unit, and then there is a shipping fee on top of that. And you're going to give me breadcrumbs as far as my salary goes.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
absurd.
It's so for those that don't know, if you don't sell on Amazon, the buy box is when you go to a product page and you just hit add to cart or buy now. That's the buy box. Well, in the beginning, if you're selling used products, right, like used books, CDs, DVDs, you cannot be in the buy box. So you get like 5% of the sales you normally would. But like Johnny said, they don't say, hey, Johnny, here's a list of 10 things you need to do, right? And even if you do them, there's no guarantee. So like me and Johnny have developed like a little checklist for our buy box algorithm, but even that is not like guaranteed. You can go do all of this and it's not guaranteed.
And it'll work for some people and it'll work for not. And we're kind of like selling snake oil when we tell people to try these things, honestly, because we have no clue. Because
But
it works
we're
differently for different people, but on average, most of the time it does work. So we can say it most of the time does work.
our response is going to be better than the response you get from Amazon because what they're going to say is the buy box is proprietary information. We cannot share anything further with you. That's literally what they'll give you whenever you ask about the buy box or
Well, why is it
feature.
proprietary when you want your customers to have the buy box? I don't
I know.
understand.
I know that I think both platforms, eBay when it comes to the actual listing structure and customer
Yeah.
service side need to do better. Amazon just needs to do better everywhere. Like their videos are outdated. I think Amazon could care less about the small seller. I think eBay cares more about the small seller than Amazon by leaps and
Yeah.
bounds. I think Amazon's working towards making it tougher for smaller sellers, just based on, account health rating and things like that. I'll let you wrap it up here since we've been yapping for a while.
Well, I got one more last thing about eBay. They don't tell you what's a good title structure and
They
what's
don't.
not. You have 80 characters, and me putting in book A, book B for each of my listings, that's not good enough. You got to know not only the right words, but the order the words need to go in that title. And in Amazon, you have weird titles in parentheses and special characters. We're lucky there's not fire emojis. Maybe they will add fire emojis in the next update. But
This is
anyway,
this is where that's where you're supposed to shamelessly plug your Patreon group. Like, hey, if you want to learn how to create proper eBay titles,
visit me at the Book Shepherd on YouTube and
or
Patreon.
patreon.com. What is it? Patreon.com/ the book shepherd.
Yeah, it should be.
Boom. See, dude, I'll train you up. You'll be a guru in no time. You'll be rolling in the course and Patreon money. You won't even have to resell. It can all be a
Or better
facade.
yet, I cannot memorize all of that and say the link will be down in the descriptions below.
There you go.
Oh,
I know. But dude, you still gotta be shameless sometimes.
oh yeah,
All
yeah.
right, so we both agree. eBay and Amazon, they kind of suck, and if they don't
Yeah.
do enough to help you get started on either platform and even ongoing, right? I know we really didn't hit on it, but I kind of did because I do think there should be tiers to this game, right? If you're the $1 million seller, why am I calling and getting the same support as Joe Blow who hasn't sold a single damn item, right? Like there should be levels to where they take care of their better performing sellers over sorry new sellers, but the people that have been around and are getting the results on a platform should get better technical support. I know, listen, Amazon, eBay, listen up, I'm going to make you guys more money. I think people would be willing to pay. I think sellers would be willing to pay for better seller support on the back end if that was an extra $20 or $40 a month. If they could actually talk to somebody that maybe eBay decides they're going to hire or Amazon decides they're going to hire people that used to sell on the platform that have some knowledge. I think sellers would pay more for it. They could literally monetize this because we want better support. We want better tools for new sellers and even us seasoned sellers. We want to understand all the ins and outs of what they want instead of having to join groups and go down rabbit holes and find content creators that actually know what they're talking about. Because everything Johnny talks about, you can't just go search it on eBay. It doesn't exist. It's same with Amazon. Everything I talk about, you can't just go type it in Amazon and figure this shit out. You're just kind of left to your own devices and it sets you up. Yeah, you can start today, but good luck getting it off the ground because if you just go based off what the eBay forums or Amazon forums or their help articles and facts tell you, dude, you got no shot in hell making it.
And to be fair, eBay does have it. It's at their $300 a month tier, but who wants to pay $300 a month to make one phone call just because you're new? So not for new people, but for established people on eBay, you can pay that. You get some other benefits, just like all the other store subscriptions, but it is mighty expensive.
Yeah, that is a hefty price tag. I guess if you do that volume, it's worth it, but I think there should be like an add-on, dude, for like 20 or $40 a month.
Oh yeah,
I think people would pay that. You know, you got your 25, $30 a month store and then a $20 add-on so you actually get
I pay
support,
that. Yeah.
especially if you're in a category where you deal with a lot of returns or things like that. I think it would go, or maybe even like dedicated a rep on Amazon. If you sell a certain amount of dollars, I'll tell you this, they give you a dedicated Amazon rep, and it's just based on your selling, right? If you sell 6 figures or 7 figures a year, they say, okay, we're going to dedicate somebody to you, an account specialist. This actually happens in the Amazon space. I think eBay should do the same. I don't think it has to be that high, but I do think, you start doing 6 figures on these reselling platforms. I think they got to throw us a bone here and give us something. So that's going to do it for this week's episode. Johnny, I'm not letting you add anything else because you'll be on this damn make eBay great again task for the rest of the time and 5 more hours we could go on about you fixing eBay.
Nano, nano.
Nano, nano. All right, we'll talk to y'all next week's episode.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Resellers Mindset Podcast. Today's full episode and all previous episodes are available to all YouTube members, along with the weekly Zoom call and private Discord. Head on over to youtube.com/theusebookguy and consider joining for as little as $2.99 a month.